Lesson 61. A Residential Bishop. Who is a residential bishop? A residential bishop, ordinary of the place, the diocesan bishop, is a member of the hierarchy with full powers of orders, a true successor and continuator of the ordinary mission of the apostles, who rules in the name of Christ an organized territory called a diocese or see assigned to him by the Pope. A residential bishop, therefore, is in his territory, by divine right, the ordinary teacher of the Catholic faith, the legislator, judge of first instance, and shepherd of the faithful in union with and dependence on the Pope. Pope Pius XII on May 31, 1954, speaking to bishops, said, "Christ our Lord entrusted the truth which he had brought from heaven to the apostles, and through them to their successors. Besides the lawful successors of the apostles, namely the Roman Pontiff for the universal church and the bishops for the faithful entrusted to their care, there are no other teachers divinely constituted in the Church of Christ." Later, in the Magnificat Dominium, the Pontiff said, "In the ordinary providence of God, the faithful normally learn the Church's teachings on matters of faith and morals not directly from the Holy See, but rather through their own bishops and those delegated by the bishops." A residential bishop is the shepherd of his flock. He appoints and supervises parish priests to help him. He provides for the education and training of candidates for the priesthood and the religious education of his flock, and he gives faculties to priests to preach and hear confessions. He sees that the temporal possessions of his diocese are properly administered and taken care of. As the Pope is the successor of St. Peter, so the other bishops are the direct successors of the other apostles. To them our Lord spoke, "He who hears you hears me." The residential bishop, in governing his diocese, is assisted by a number of canons or diocesan consultors. In important matters, he consults them. He may have a vicar general or an episcopal delegate to represent him. Together with the bishop, these men are termed ordinaries, that is, they have not only delegated but ordinary jurisdiction in certain matters. In large dioceses, there may be an auxiliary bishop. One of the duties of a residential bishop is to protect the faith and morals of members of the Church regarding books and other publications. He exercises this duty by requiring the examination of certain types of publications to find out if they contain anything contrary to faith and morals. This is done by an ecclesiastical censor delegated by the bishop. After the examination, he may give the nil obstat, nothing contrary to faith and morals stands in the way of its publication. Upon this recommendation, the bishop gives the imprimatur. It may be published. If a residential bishop himself should publish a book, it is obvious that he does not require an imprimatur. Archbishops wear a pallium, a white strip of wool, on their shoulders as a symbol of gentleness. They act as first judges of appeal from a decision of their suffragan bishops. The bishop is appointed by the Pope and receives his jurisdiction from him. Once every 5 years, in person, or if incapacitated through a delegate, he gives a report to the Holy Father on the conditions of his diocese. The Pope addresses a bishop brother, because as bishops they have the same rank. Bishops wear a mitre and carry a crozier as a sign of their office of shepherd. They wear a pictorial cross. They have a ring as a symbol of their union with their diocese. The faithful kiss it in token of obedience and respect. Who assist the bishop in the care of souls? The priests, especially parish priests, assist the bishop in the care of souls. Parish priests receive their orders and jurisdiction from the bishop and are bound to carry out his commands. In the parish priest represents the bishop, and no one may, without the bishop's or his consent, exercise spiritual functions there such as administering the sacrament of matrimony, baptizing, preaching, burying, etc. A vicar forain, called also urban or rural dean, is a parish priest having supervisory power in the name of a bishop over neighbouring parishes. Parish priests of large parishes have priests helping them, called curates or assistants.